Welcome to the Tax Cases channel. Let us see a fascinating case of income tax refund. In order to alleviate the concern of recovery of demands in doubtful cases, Section 241A was inserted, giving the assessing officer the power to withhold the refund after due approval from Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, where its grant may adversely affect the revenue. The department used Section 241A to withhold the refund of Vodafone Idea for assessment year 2014-15. The topsy-turvy arguments and interpretations led to a detailed judgment on this matter. Kindly subscribe the channel and hit the bell button. The learned senior counsel for the petitioner Vodafone Idea presses interim relief in terms of prayer clause C and refund of 833 crores. It would be appropriate to highlight some of the relevant facts for the purpose of the consideration of prayer for interim relief. The petitioner has filed this writ petition inter alia, praying for a writ of mandamus, and seeks refund of 1009 crores as quantified by order dated 28th May 2020. In prayer clause B of the petition, the petitioner seeks admitted refund of 833 crores in accordance with the rectification stroke section 245 order dated 28th May 2020. The petitioner had filed its return of income on 30th September 2014 in the name of Vodafone Mobile Services Limited. The said income tax returns was revised on 31st March 2016 and further revised on 22nd February 2017. On October 31st, 2019, the respondent number 1, the officer, passed an assessment order under section 143 subsection 3 read with section 144C of the Income Tax Act, determining the refund of 733 crores payable to the petitioner on 7th November 2019. The petitioner, Vodafone, filed an application for rectification under section 154 of the Income Tax Act, seeking rectification of certain mistakes apparent from the record according to the petition. The petitioner filed another rectification application with the respondent number 1 on 3rd December 2019 in view of the case of petitioner having been transferred from Delhi to Mumbai by order under section 162 of the Act. Since the respondents did not grant any refund in favor of the petitioner filed a writ petition before the Delhi High Court. By the judgment and order dated 14 December 2018, Delhi High Court dismissed the said writ petition. Being aggrieved by the said judgment and order, the petitioner preferred special leave petition before the Supreme Court in their civil appeal number 2377 of 2020. By the judgment and order dated 29th April 2020, the Honorable Supreme Court for assessment year 2014-15 held that final assessment order passed under section 143 of the IT Act indicated that the Vodafone, the petitioner, was entitled for refund of 733 crores, while in assessment year 15-16 there was a demand of 582 crores. The respondents urged before the Honorable Supreme Court that the demand in respect of earlier assessment years, including the liability as a result of order dated 28th December 2019, being outstanding, the respondents would be entitled to invoke the requisite power under section 245 of the Act to set off the amount of refund payable in respect of assessment year 14-15 against tax remaining payable. The Honorable Supreme Court accordingly held that since requisite action was not even initiated, the Honorable Supreme Court said nothing in that respect. The respondents were accordingly directed that the amount of 733 crores shall be refunded to the petitioner within 4 weeks from the date of the said order, subject to any proceedings that the revenue may deem appropriate in accordance with the law. The respondents were directed to conclude the proceedings initiated pursuant to the notice under subsection 2 of section 143 of the Act in respect of assessment year 16-17 and 17-18 as early as possible, except those directions issued in paragraph 13 of this judgment of the Supreme Court judgment The Honorable Supreme Court did not interfere with the impugned judgment and order passed by the Delhi High Court and dismissed the said civil appeal without any order or costs. Pursuant to the said judgment and order dated 29th April 2020, delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court, the respondent number 1, that is the assessing officer, issued an intimation under Section 245 of the IT Act. In the said intimation, it was the case of the respondent number 1, that is the officer, that as per the records, a sum of 864 crores was outstanding against the petitioner in respect of various assessment years, that is 2000, 2001, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 12, 13 and 2018-19. By the said intimation, the respondents, that is the officer, proposed to set off the outstanding demand against the refund for the assessment year 2014-15, arrived in case of petitioner formerly known as Vodafone Mobile Services Limited. The petitioner was directed to inform the respondents in case of any of those demands mentioned in the said notice was stayed by any court. The said intimation under Section 245 of the Act was strongly objected by the petitioner by their email dated 13th May 2020 on various grounds. The petitioner also brought on record the order passed by the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal for the assessment year 6-7 and pendency of various stay applications filed by the petitioner. The petitioner contended in the said reply that the refund due for assessment year 14-15 could not be adjusted against outstanding demand for the assessment year 12-13 and for various other assessment years on various grounds. On 19th May 2020, the petitioner filed additional response to the intimation under Section 245 of the Act and strongly raised the objection to the said action on the part of the assessing officer. On 28th May 2020, the assessing officer passed an order under Section 154 of the Act, read with Section 143 subsection 3. Insofar as assessment year 2014-15 is concerned, the assessing officer held that the petitioner was entitled to refund of 1009 crores. The assessing officer in the order, however, also held that the demand for several years was pending against the petitioners, that is Vodafone Idea, for a sum of 176 crores. Sorry, 176 crores. The respondent number 1 deducted the said amount of 176 crores out of the refund of 1009 crores and determined the net refund amount of 833 crores. Vodafone Idea, by its email dated 11 June 2020 to the Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, demanded refund by seeking compliance of the order dated 29th April 2020, passed by the Honorable Supreme Court. The petitioner thereafter sent various reminders to the respondents for seeking refund and compliance of the order passed by the Supreme Court. The respondents, however, did not refund any amount to the petitioner, including 833 crores, which according to the respondents was either way due and payable to the petitioner. The petitioner thus filed this petition inter alia praying for various reliefs. Pursuant to the order dated 23rd June 2020 passed by this court, respondents filed affidavit in reply dated 24th June 2020. The petitioner filed affidavit in rejoinder dated 25th June 2020. The learned senior counsel for Vodafone Idea invited the attention of the judges here to the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in Civil Appeal number 2377 and various annexures to the petition, including the order passed by the respondent officer on 28 May 2020, holding that the net refund amount of 833 crores was due and payable to the petitioner. He submits that the Honorable Supreme Court, though had directed the respondents to refund amount of 733 crores to the petitioner within 4 weeks from the date of the order, subject to any proceedings that the revenue may deem appropriate to initiate in accordance with the law, the respondent did not refund the said amount in compliance with the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court. He submits that the respondents themselves had invoked Section 245 of the Act, seeking adjustment of the alleged demand against the refund payable to the petitioner. It is submitted that the order passed by the officer on 28 May 2020 was a common order disposing of all the applications for rectification filed by the assessee under Section 154 of the Act, and also the notices issued by the respondents under Section 245 of the Act seeking adjustment of the alleged outstanding dues of the petitioner against the amount of refund due to the petitioner. He submits that even according to the respondents, after adjusting the demand of the respondents against the petitioner, the net refundable amount payable to the petitioner as 833 crores. The learned senior counsel submits that at the first instance, the respondents could not have adjusted even a sum of 176 crores against the amount of 1009 crores found refundable to the petitioner under the said order. In his alternate submission, he submits that in any event, the respondents could not have withheld the said net refund amount of 833 crores. The learned senior counsel accordingly presses an interim relief for admitted refundable amount of 833 crores. It is submitted by the counsel that once the officer, having exercised power under Section 245 of the Act and holding that the amount of 176 crores was adjustable against the gross refund of 1009 crores and determining the net amount of 833 crores as refundable to the petitioner, there is no question of withholding the sum of 833 crores admittedly due and refundable to the petitioner on the grounds set out for the first time in the affidavit in reply. He submits that there is no provision under the Act permitting withholding of the said admitted amount once having passed an order by the officer himself under Section 154 read with Section 245 of the Act. The senior counsel also invited the attention of the court to some of the contentions raised by the officers in affidavit in reply. He submits that the provisions of Section 241A of the Act sought to be pressed in service by the respondents in paragraph number 5 of the affidavit in reply is not applicable to the petitioner insofar as refund for the assessment year 14-15 is concerned. The said provision would apply only for the assessment year 2017-18 onwards. He submits that the respondent number 1 has issued refund of approximately 706 crores pertaining to assessment year 2017-18 to the petitioner in pursuant to the decision of this court. The officer did not challenge the said order passed by this court before the Honorable Supreme Court. The senior counsel submits that proceedings initiated by the respondents under Section 245 of the Act has been already ended in view of the common order dated 28 May 2020 passed under Section 154 read with Section 245 of the Act. He submits that as on today there is no demand for the assessment year 2016-17. Learned senior counsel submits that there is no provision in the Act which allows the respondents to withhold the refunds in anticipation of tax determination which may arise in future. The counsel for the Income Tax Department, on the other hand, strongly pressed in service of Section 241A of the Income Tax Act and submit that since huge outstanding demand has been pending against the petitioner, the assessing officer has initiated proceedings under Section 241A of the Act against the petitioner to withhold the refund after following prescribed procedure laid down in the Act. He submits that the petitioner has claimed refund in several years and total value is more than the outstanding demand excluding the stay against the demands raised by the respondents. The learned counsel for the respondents submits that action of the respondents to withhold the refund under Section 241A is justified in view of the liberty granted by the Honorable Supreme Court in the order dated 29th April 2020. The learned counsel placed reliance on the judgment of Delhi High Court in the case of Maruti Suzuki Limited versus DCIT 347 ITR 43 Delhi High Court, and more particularly paragraph number 17 and 25 in support of his submission that the respondents were justified in withholding the refund due to the petitioner for the assessment year 14-15 by invoking Section 241A of the Act. The learned counsel, senior counsel, for Vodafone Idea, that is the assessee, in rejoinder, distinguished the judgment of Delhi High Court in the case of Maruti Suzuki India Limited versus DCIT. He submits that in the facts of that case, Delhi High Court has held that the conduct and action of respondent revenue in recovering the disputed tax in respect of additions to the extent of 96 crores on the issues which were already covered against them by the earlier orders of the ITAT or CIT appeals was unjustified and contrary to the law. The senior counsel submits that the respondents cannot withhold the amount of refund admittedly due by seeking adjustment of the tax liability which may arise according to the respondents in future. He submits that the entire action on the part of the officers is in gross violation of judgment and order of the Honorable Supreme Court dated 29th April 2020, directing the respondents to refund the amount of 733 crores and also contrary to the order passed by the officer himself holding that the petitioner was entitled to net refundable amount of 833 crores. A perusal of the record clearly indicates that insofar as assessment year 1415 is concerned, the Honorable Supreme Court by judgment and order dated 29th April 2020 had already directed the respondents to refund a sum of 733 crores to the petitioner. However, subject to any proceedings that the revenue may deem appropriate to initiate in accordance with the law. The officer had already issued two notices dated 8th May 2020 and 13th May 2020, respectively, inter alia seeking adjustment of the refund in sum of rupees 953 crores. Against the refund payable to the petitioner for the assessment year 1415. A perusal of the order dated 28th May 2020 passed by the respondent number 1 clearly indicates that said order was the common order passed in the application filed by the petitioner under section 154 of the Act and also under section 245 of the Act. Adjustment of the alleged tax dues which was required to be made according to the officer against the refund amount due to the petitioner in the assessment year 1415 was already made by the respondent number 1 in the said order. The said order, insofar as officers are concerned, has attained finality. The question as to whether the officer could have adjusted the sum of 176 crores or not is an issue raised in this writ petition. The said issue would be decided by this court at the stage of final hearing of the writ petition. However, insofar as the net refund amount of 833 crore is concerned, in the view of the judges here, the officer already having invoked their powers under section 244 of the Act, 245 of the Act, which action has ended with passing of the order dated 28 May 2020, the respondents cannot withhold the admitted refundable amount of 833 crores on the ground that the respondents may have a future demand against the petitioner arising out of the pending assessment orders. In the view of the court, there is no such power vested in the respondents to adjust the admitted refund amount against the tax dues which are not even adjudicated upon by the respondents and may arise in future as contemplated or visualized by the respondents. Insofar as the provisions of section 241A of the Act pressed in service by the officer, and that also only in the affidavit in reply for the first time is concerned, it would be appropriate to quote the said section to appreciate the submissions made by the officer. Section 241A of the Income Tax Act 1961 reads thus: for every assessment year commencing on or after 1st day of April 2017, where refund of any amount becomes due to the assessee under the provisions of subsection 1 of section 143, and the assessing officer is of the opinion, having regard to the fact that a notice has been issued under subsection 2 of section 143 in respect of such return, that the grant of the refund is likely to adversely affect the revenue, he may, for reasons to be recorded in writing and with the previous approval of the principal commissioner or commissioner, as the case may be, withhold the refund up to the date on which the assessment is made. The respondents cannot be allowed to invoke Section 241A for the first time in the affidavit in reply to the writ petition filed by the petitioner. Be that as it may, a plain reading of the said provision makes it clear that the power to withhold the refund granted to the assessing officer is subject to the previous approval of the principal commissioner or commissioner, as the case may be. And that also would be for every assessment year after 1st April 2017, where refund of any amount becomes due to the assessee and under the provisions of subsection 1 of section 143, and not for the earlier assessment year. The assessment year in question in this case is 2014-15. In the view of the judges here, the section 241A pressed in service, even in the affidavit in reply or otherwise, is not attracted to the refund of assessment year 14-15 or any assessment year prior to 2017-18. It is not in dispute that as on today, there is no determination of any further tax liability for any other assessment year, which liability can be adjusted against the admitted refundable amount determined by the officer, assuming section 241A is applicable or otherwise. Even otherwise, no approval is granted by the principal commissioner or commissioner, as the case may be, to withhold the refund up to the date on which the assessment is made. In this case, the assessment order under section 143 subsection 1 for the assessment year 14-15 has already attained finality, resulting in refund of amount in view of the judgment delivered by Honorable Supreme Court on 29th April 2020 and the order dated 28th May 2020 passed by the assessing officer himself. Insofar as the reliance placed by the learned counsel for the department on the judgment of the Delhi High Court in the case of Maruti Suzuki India Limited versus DCIT is concerned, in the view of this court, the said judgment is not even remotely applicable to the facts of the case. Reliance placed by the learned counsel on the said judgment is totally misplaced. Based on the arguments and based on the interpretation of the Honorable Bombay High Court, here goes the order. The respondents are directed to refund a sum of 833 crores to the petitioner Vodafone within 2 weeks from the date of uploading of this order without fail. B. This order will be digitally signed by the personal secretary or personal assistant of this court. Associate of this court is permitted to forward the petitioner and the respondents copy of this order by email. All concerned to act on digitally signed copy of this order. Thank you for a patient hearing. In order to get more such videos, kindly subscribe this channel and click on bell button to receive new videos in real time. Please like the video in order to encourage to make more such videos.